San Diego is the jewel of Southern California. People from all over the world come here to enjoy the surf, the sun, the culture of Southern California. They come here to do business, they come here to live, and they come here to retire in a virtual paradise.
Hi, I'm Dr. Pat Abbott. I'm a geology professor at San Diego State University. This allows me the great good fortune to live and work right here in San Diego. When we begin to think about why people are so attracted to this place, we have to ask ourselves, what makes it so desirable?
Well, we have a world-class zoo, we have a deep water bay that welcomes ships of the world, and we have a cultural and ethnic blend that puts energy, business, and life into the community. But thousands of years ago, long before San Diego ever had a name, people still came to this place. They came because it offered an abundance of food, both from the sea and from the land. It had a moderate climate, it was a good place to live, and with any luck, a place to grow old in relative comfort. But at the core of San Diego's success lies the actual shape of the land. And as geologists, we have peeled back the layers to discover the forces that shaped a land with so many attributes. It's exciting to look around a rich geological terrain like San Diego and know how it came to be. How did Mount Soledad form? Where did Mission Bay come from? Or Point Loma? Or the Silver Strand? Well, we're going back in time and speed up the geological time frame and watch what happens. Before there was a Mission Beach, before the cliffs at Torrey Pines, before Mount Soledad, before there was even a bay. We're going back to when San Diego was just a beach. The landscape of San Diego has been shaped by large-scale processes: rise and fall of sea level, regional tilting of the land, the shifting and warping caused by movements on faults in the Rose Canyon system. But changes in the landscape are barely perceptible when viewed during any given year. But if we apply a geologic measurement of, say, 1,000,000 years, then the changes become readily apparent, and this is the backbone of geology. That small changes, day by day, year by year, when viewed over millions of years, add up to major geologic effects. We can understand the shape of the land in San Diego during the last 1,000,000 years if we divide it into 3 acts. The first act opens with high sea levels retreating westward from a rising landmass. In Act 2, the Rose Canyon Fault alters the land. It changes the outline of the coastline. It raises hills, it lowers land, which fills with water to create bays. And in Act 3, from 14,000 to 9,000 years ago, as glaciers in the northern hemisphere rapidly retreated, the sea level rose, setting the stage to form some of San Diego's most remarkable terrain. I'm on the top of Mount Soledad. To the west lies La Jolla and the Pacific Ocean. On the south is Mission Bay and Point Loma. And at the base of the mountain, there is Interstate 5, where it connects with Highway 52. But when I sweep my eyes from northeast to southeast, I see a broad plain, cut through by valleys running from east to west. That's the Linda Vista Mesa. In the middle of the mesa is the Miramar Marine Air Station, surrounded by thousands of homes, businesses, roads, everything that a human being might need to survive in today's world. But 1,000,000 years ago, it was all underwater. If you know what to look for, you can actually see what we geologists call the 1,000,000-year-old sea cliffs. They're right here. And if you want to know what they look like in their prime, go just off today's shoreline and look back at the sea cliffs at Torrey Pine State Beach. Towering cliffs up to 300 feet tall with the surf pounding at their base. But behind the scenes, enormous forces were at work because the million-year sea cliffs are more than 9 miles from the ocean today. How did that happen? How did the sea cliffs and the ocean get that far apart? Well, several things began to happen at the same time. And remember, we're talking in geologic time. The seafloor began to rise, to uplift. And as the land began to rise in the east, the sea, simultaneously, began to retreat in a westward direction. As each bit of seafloor, in its turn, became beach, the ocean began to scrub and abrade the seafloor, creating a hard platform covered with sand and gravel several feet thick. This was later cemented together by salts crystallized from groundwater. The result is that today we have nearly flat ground that makes an excellent natural foundation for building homes, schools, and businesses. The uplifted and drained seafloors are dominant features in San Diego, but what happens when land is raised and exposed to the atmosphere? It meets the great equalizer, erosion. Bad for the land, good for us because it creates the valleys that provide habitats for plants and animals and opportunities for us. We're here in the Soil Erosion Research Laboratory. It's located in the Department of Civil Engineering here at San Diego State University. And the reason this apparatus was built is to learn ways to prevent erosion along California's roadways. And this is done by eroding different mixtures of earth materials to see how they erode on a much smaller scale. Here's how it works. Sediment mixtures are packed down, forming horizontal surfaces in this 12-foot by 30-foot bed. The entire apparatus is tilted, and artificial rain is applied with the resultant erosion. In a small scale and in a short time, it gives clues to how a real area will erode. Just as these experiments simulate the erosion on a larger scale and longer time interval of given soil mixtures, it also demonstrates how the uplifted Linda Vista Mesa, the ancient seafloor, has been eroded by rainfall that has run off and carved the topography that we know today. We don't see it very readily because the sheer scale of the erosion is so great, it has actually turned gullies into valleys. As we drive